2-2. And there is strike 3 again. And the 2-2. Swung on and missed. Strikeout number.
Up to the left side, Alvarius comes over right at the railing. Whoa! Cannon makes a great catch. He ended up in the first row. Alvarius ends the game with the defensive jam of the afternoon.
All right, y'all just want to freaking send it, or do you need a little itinerary?
What are we talking about?
Yeah, I would say just send it, man.
We're talking about some gator hunting. We're introing Slick Wilson. We are
Director of Photography.
All right. This is K-Zone Podcast, Episode 2. We got Slick Wilson here, a.k.a. Slick Willie, a.k.a. Director of Photography.
Go buy lots of stuff.
A.k.a. Garrett Rucker.
Hit well to center field. Going back is Rucker, and he makes a reaching catch toward the track. What a grab by Rucker.
Go! Nice shot.
The hell around there. Around. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, nice teamwork. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Me and Nate did an episode last week. Probably by the time you're seeing this, we pretty much introed ourselves, talked about kind of the point of the podcast, like where we're going to head with this thing. But to intro Ruck, he was my college roommate. We met back in high school during summer ball. Been through a lot of crap.
Oh, yeah.
Got
Seen
for
a lot
days.
of stuff. Yeah, if you got about 7 hours in a case of beer, we could fill you in. But
Go ahead and tell me about yourself.
tell me a little bit about your life and how things are going on in your life.
We met in summer ball back in high school, played a couple years with the Express up in Northwest Arkansas. Then we both went to Arkansas. We roomed for 2 or 3 years. Mm-hmm. And then
Flooded one dorm.
Flooded a dorm. I'm telling you, we need a whole nother episode.
Yeah.
But really, this episode, we kind of wanted to talk about our gator hunt that we went on, a month ago?
Yeah, August 20-something, I think.
Yeah.
I have to look at my calendar.
We went on the opening weekend of the South Florida Gator season. Went down there with Dustin, Chance, Robbie. It was a good time, and just kind of wanted to review that because all three of us here have been on a gator trip. Nate went last year. I've been the last 4 years, and then Ruck went this year. So it's kind of to start the conversation off. I mean, Ruck being the one that's got the most fresh experience. What'd you think about the gator stuff?
I mean, the gator stuff was cool. It was something that, I mean, obviously you don't see a lot of it here in Arkansas. The only gator hunt that I was familiar with was like watching the episodes of them and then like Swamp People. But down there, I didn't really know what to expect. I didn't know if we were riding around in boats. I didn't know if we were doing the bait type thing. But with the permission that we had with the STAs, we were just kind of driving around, glassing canals, looking for gators that were big enough that we thought was worth making a move on. So,
and for each permit, we had 2 tags. We killed 2 gators.
Yeah, you could kill 2. I'm not sure what the acreage of the area that we had to cover, but
thousands.
I mean, we were driving a long way without ever seeing the same thing. So you got to see a really cool part of Florida, somewhere that I've never been. I've only been to the beach. So Florida to me is white sandy beaches and cold beer, not gators and canals,
and pythons, but
yeah, it was a lot of fun. I didn't know what to expect with it. The mosquitoes after the sun went down, though.
Holy crap.
The worst thing ever.
Dude, absolutely horrible. I think hopefully the camera got to at least capture the horrendous amount of bugs.
Probably because it got my left arm. And I know, I don't know if this is going to come out before the gator episode does, but whichever one comes first, I'm here to tell you the mosquitoes were worse than anything I've ever seen in Arkansas.
Oh, yeah. I've been, all over the state. Nate and I lived in Jonesboro, and the mosquitoes there are bad enough. So even the J-Bug does not hold a candle to what we had to deal with down there in Florida.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, so every year I've gone, we've hunted out of boats. We've hunted Lake Okeechobee twice, Lake Hatch up just south of Orlando once, and then went back last year with Nate on Okeechobee. Nate's gator, we just unboxed it in the garage out here, and
about blew my back out.
Mate.
Yeah.
It's 11 and a half footer, and it's a coffee table.
It's giant. It's I don't know.
Camera can't
It's
see
a
it. We
little-
got a mount up
yeah.
here. This is an 11.
Josh is from a couple years ago, but it's on a piece of driftwood, and it looks huge. But once we pull that entire thing out and set it on the ground, it's gonna be impressive.
It's gonna
We
be.
should do it. We should just do a video, just unbox
Yeah,
like the
that's
unveiling of the
plan,
whole thing.
But we're gonna need 6 people to do it because that glass that goes on the table, I
was
don't know,
telling him, I
probably
bet
has to
you're-
be 250 pounds.
I was saying 300 pounds.
Yeah,
It's heavy.
It's heavy, but the Gator experience is unlike anything you've ever done before. Especially like the funnest thing we did was we got on the airboats at night and you're holding what do they call it?
Harpoon.
A harpoon, and you're just riding around and Chance is driving. First of all, it took us 30 minutes to get in the water because we had headsets on like this, and we just kept dicking around with each other for 30 minutes. I mean,
Classic.
It was 1 a.m. and we're at the boat launch, and we probably sounded like we're on a bunch of freaking drugs out there because we couldn't stop laughing. We're just messing with each other. But Chance would just go hauling butt up next to a gator that he thought was big, and I'm sitting there with a harpoon. And those airboats have no sides on them, so when he pulls up, it's like your foot gator, and that thing's just sitting there looking at you, hissing at you, and it was an experience. That was fun.
We didn't kill one that
We
night.
didn't kill one, but my Lord, if we did, I mean, that's the way to do it. You know,
that'd be pretty crazy. It's hard to film at night, but ended up cutting it down to the wire on your hunt.
Yeah, we thought we were casting on like an 8 or 9 footer, and you can see it in the video that we posted. But I mean, it was hard for 2 days. I mean, we really didn't have any luck. We were trying to bait them, and I'm just bound and determined that will never work. Dustin, Chance, that will never work.
Hey, I don't know, dude. When we were leaving Waco on
Oh,
the way
my Lord.
out, 5 minutes.
I don't know. We didn't have any luck with it, and then last morning we go back to the same canal. We hit a couple times and seen some good gators, and we were just trying to get one in the boat, and we pull up on one, and we think it's like a 8 or 9 footer, and we cast on it, and we hook it, and we don't think there's anything to it. And all of a sudden, me and Chance are sitting there, and we pull it up next to the boat, and you just hear Josh go, "Holy shit!" And the thing is the size of the boat, and it just took off and just pulled us all around that canal. But it's hectic, and they got it set up really well. I mean, they've been doing it their whole lives.
I feel kind of bad sitting here doing a Gator episode. And we don't have Dustin or Chance or anybody here.
Well,
to
when
put
they
it
come
where-
up in November, December, they can talk more about it. But
Yeah, you two got these big ass mounts. I'm just gonna have a little,
have a
you got a little European
head.
skull mount.
you didn't want to cough up the money for it. It's worth it, I guess.
I mean,
Yeah, but
afterwards.
but if I'm the third one to kill one and the first two are bigger, I mean that was
That was
kind of
my
the
philosophy.
smallest one.
Now, if we go out there and we kill like a 12 something,
Oh, dude, that joker's on my wall every day. of the
in
week.
the apartment.
In the apartment,
That
I'll
sucker
be
up
like,
the
"How you gonna get
stairs.
this thing through the door?" I don't know.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I'll say that.
yeah, well, we're on a little bit of a time crunch with Nate. He's got to get back to Little Rock, but we just wanted to kind of recap some Gator stuff on the last hunt we were just on. We didn't use boats at all. We actually, like Ruck said, we just drove up and down some canals. But
Yeah, and it was backwards for us too because we took all the pressure off night one.
yeah,
We
so
got this thing done within
every
3 hours.
every
of being
year
there.
that I've Gator hunted and turkey hunted with those guys, we've literally gone to the last hour of the last day. I mean, I've had to almost reschedule plane
We
tickets
almost
because
missed
of
our
these
flight.
Gators.
We got there 30 minutes before the flight
Yeah, so
left. So
first year I killed that gator with 1 hour left to spare. It was like 9 o'clock. You have to be done hunting at 10. Nate's we killed kind of the same time. I mean, late in the morning, right before we had to leave. And then Ruck shows up to Florida, and we're talking about how like we're stressed out, like every year's tough. And he kills one in 2 hours. You hook up to 2. You get one by the pump house
The gate opened at 5.
at 5.
And we had hooked a couple before that.
We'd
all
hooked one
got
by
snapped
6.
off. And then, like we were telling them, I think we got it in the video. You and I were like, dude, let's hit a loop. This is getting old.
We're
hunting in the same spot.
we were
we
deer
get
hunting a gator.
400 yards down this road. It's like 7:10. We see one, and I think the time on my phone was like 7:15 that we had hooked into this thing. And then like 8:30, I think, is when we
We definitely fought
finally
him
got
for
it done.
We fought him for over an hour, no doubt.
About an hour 20, hour and a half.
But I guess you come down and we kill one immediately, and then the next morning was the next morning is that when we let that one go?
That's when we let that one go. We thought it was bigger than the first one. I mean, it drug us way down the canal. We spent a lot of time on this thing, and then got it up, and everybody was just
Like,
yeah.
The way that you can tell how big a gator is from just the surface level is the gap between its eyes and its snout. And this one we thought for sure was at least 11,
Oh
maybe
yeah,
12.
and it was dragging. They had two. I think Chance and Robbie were both hooked, and it was dragging them. I mean,
Hundreds of
down
yards
this
down the
canal
canal.
really far. And I'd also never seen a gator that tired. Like by the time we got that thing to the bank, it was so tired
Just
that
floating.
like Dustin could just hold it by the tail after we got all the hooks out of it. It was just chilling.
It was just floating. And then, so Dustin, Robbie, and Chance, all three hooked into it eventually. We had enough time to fly the drone. We had enough time. We had a lot going on. I mean, it was like 45 minutes at least.
Oh, I ran back to the truck to get the harpoon. You went to get the drone. I mean, we did all kinds of stuff while they were fighting this gator and getting it tired.
And it was hard. It's harder to fight those from the bank because you can't get right above them and pull them up. And so
Right.
they're in these canals and they just grab bottom and start walking you, and then you're pulling them sideways. Like with Nate's gator and my gator, you get on top of them and you pull them up off the bottom. And we still fought yours for a couple hours. But
yeah. I mean, I was more exhausted than that gator was by the end of it.
yeah, it's a freaking workout.
It'll wreck you.
But I mean, yeah. So we just kind of wanted to loop in some stories. We'll get the Florida guys in. It'd probably be January. We'll get some input on them. But we got some big trips coming up. We talked about it a little bit in the first podcast, but going to Canada October the 11th. And this is mine and Ruck's third time to go, Nate's second time to go. We're planning on doing a podcast up there, getting Kevin on the mic, get Blaine on there a little bit.
I don't know if we'll be able to make it through that podcast. That's going to be nothing but just laughing for it.
It's going to be good stuff. Their season opens September 1st, and he's been sending us pictures every day. There's one hunt they killed 5 bands, and then every day he's just sending me pictures, and I'm like, gosh, we need to go right now.
We need to go set up at the Hutterite compound and shoot one of them.
You know the deal, man. You better bring Moses a 30 rack.
That's right. We got some stories from Canada, and we may wait and tell them up there with Kevin and just go on that deal. But like I said, we got a bunch of podcasts coming up. I know Nate's got to get out of here, but me and Ruck may stick around and talk a little baseball or something for a minute. Ruck played.
There's a lot of things we could talk about.
Yeah.
I think the go off the Canada thing, we're not driving this year, thank the freaking Lord.
Oh,
because
my God.
that is I
Bro,
don't
36 hours.
I don't know if there was a more miserable experience than driving back from Canada. It was horrible.
And you got the better of the 2 years.
You did. The first year was, I mean, it was awful. I think after doing the math on it because of that Scandinavian festival and we couldn't get a hotel.
Seriously.
I'm not even kidding you. This is a story for another time.
Regina.
We thought they said it wrong, but it was us the whole time. But yeah, we ended up staying in the truck, taking the weirdest route because we had to pick up Teague in Oklahoma, then go to Kansas, then go up, slept in the back of the truck at the gas station. We were in the truck for
Portal,
like 40,
North Dakota.
Yeah, like 45 hours straight because we never had a hotel.
It was Blaine's truck. We had to go, like you said, Kansas, get Drew's trailer.
And we were smacked. I mean, that thing was full. We couldn't fit another person.
Me, James Teague, and Ruck.
And me.
What?
And me in the back.
Yeah, and in the
And that
back.
was it.
And Teague was freaking cutting loose all
Oh my
night.
God, dude! I mean, I look over at some point. It's in South Dakota. We're surrounded by cornfields, and Teague's over there putting on freaking deodorant. I'm like, bro, what are you doing?
You couldn't get away from it. You stayed in the truck, and it smelled like just a toxic waste plant. And then you get outside the truck, and it's
Going up
15
there is
degrees.
not bad because you're excited to go hunt.
Yeah.
And then you make that trip, and it was kind of fun going up there. And then you hunt literally.
But you get up there in
5
3 days too,
yeah.
and we drive back in 2.
Yeah,
That's what sucks.
Well, the thing that kills you is you just hunt 5 days straight, mornings
It's like
and
10
afternoons, and you just burn yourself out. You're sleeping 2-3 hours maybe, and then we're coming back. And I remember we got like a couple hours outside of Wainwright, and me and Josh are sitting in the passenger seat, and Blaine's behind us. You start seeing Blaine's truck going like this,
So I
you were
called.
sound asleep.
Oh,
Him and
bro,
Clat were out.
It's lights out. Yeah, I was done.
And we called Blaine. He's like, man, I can't do this right now. We pull over on the side of the highway. We got to find the video. Josh is like pumping Blaine up, and they're running sprints up and down the highway trying to
This
wake
is at
up.
4:30 in the morning.
4:30 in the morning.
Yeah,
It's
like 30-degree
hilarious.
weather in the middle of Canada. just running sprints to stay away.
30 miles later, here goes Blaine across the shoulder, across the center line. Luckily, there's no traffic.
And then luckily, I went and got in his truck and drove his ass all the way to South Dakota.
Blaine came and got in my truck. Nate went and got in Blaine's truck. And Ruck the whole time didn't even know they made a driver swap.
Yeah, dude, that's the best part about it. I'm just yeeted the whole time. I go to sleep with one driver and wake up with another one. I'm like, how the hell did this happen? But that's what it does to you, man. We stop for 10 minutes. Dudes are running sprints, yelling at each other, and I'm just still lights out in the front. I mean, that's all you can do to stay awake.
Misery time.
Yeah, so we're flying up this year. We're going to see how that goes. Try to get 5 guns across the border. Got Dustin flying up from Florida. He's never been. We were supposed to get some shells shipped up there.
Cole's still going, right?
Cole's going.
Colberius.
Dude, that's what's going to happen. He's going to get up there, and Kevin's going to leave and have like 3 new duck blinds. Cole's going to build them all up there.
Cole's going to build us some blinds. But I think this year could definitely be one of the better years because I feel like in the past we get up there at September, 20?
It's usually the
last
week or so of September.
Until October 2nd or 3rd.
Yeah.
And come home, right when it's getting cold.
And it's still been cool, too. That's the weird part about it is we go from 90, 95 down here sweating to overnight you're in 35-degree weather.
And it feels freezing cold, but then, like, we're looking at the forecast right now. Blaine sent us a screenshot.
It's supposed to be like the 20s.
Like in the 20s, chances of snow, like the highs in the 40s or 50s. But I think we're going to time it up good with the snow goose migration. The specs will already be dang near in Arkansas by the time we're up in Canada. We may have a few specs, but we'll probably be shooting ducks, honkers, and a bunch of snows, which is not good for the ammo supply.
No, but also maybe that we go later, maybe some of those mallards will be a little more plumed out. Like it's hard to tell when we go in the season. You'll see a little bit of green, but they just still hadn't fully plumed out. So maybe we'll get some better pictures.
Would be fun.
Yeah,
because down here in Arkansas, it's a freaking grind to kill some snow geese.
I think we're about over it by the time snow goose season gets here.
And then it takes you one bad snow goose hunt to say I'm never doing that again, or at least take a
already
break
checked
on
that
the
box.
Year. Yeah, we've done that many.
If you want to go sit in the mud and the rain on a nice cold February morning, be my guest, but better you than me.
Yeah, hard pass.
I mean, it's fun whenever you got it going and you can kill some, but my Lord.
Well, when you hunt for not 3 straight days, but 3 hunts in a row and you leave with 2 and you've got like 14 dudes and you all have your plug out, dude. I mean,
don't forget
there was one point
we paid to hunt that
we
field.
paid to hunt, but dude,
no one knows. You get a Venmo request from Cahill 2 days later. You got to pay to shoot 2 snow geese.
The best part about it is like we were all jacked up because we didn't have the plugs in the guns and we had the extended chokes and. Like, it was so bad, and we got so bored that we were just like, all right, all 10 of us were about to just rack off every shell in this gun. And we had like 10 dudes popping off 14, 15 rounds. Like, it sounded like an absolute war. And we didn't shoot at a single thing.
Better off brought a BB gun.
We were in the Max Prairie Wing Snow Goose competition.
Kind of. This is where all we entered. Our team name was on the list.
We kind of participated. What did we kill? 4 or 5?
Like 2.
2 in 2 days? Did we really? I don't even remember.
And we had snow goose guides with us too, so it's not like we were out there just.
We didn't half-ass it. I mean, we full sent it, and we got bent over.
We had the spread. we had layouts. We hunted water one day, hunted a field one day, got permission on a piece of property, and the guy made us pay $50 a head.
Mm-hmm. Didn't know that at the time.
We didn't know it at the time.
But like I said,
you'd have been better off just putting a 50 up in the wind and just letting it go.
just watching it go. It's about like our snow goose competition.
Yeah, you wouldn't have wasted as much time.
And that was the last time we did that.
And honestly, I've been snow goose hunting once since, maybe.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, before that, it was the first year in Canada, and we shot 135 of them.
Yeah,
that's what I want to do this year.
Yeah, that's the plan.
It's a lot easier up there for sure. But I gotta go.
Nate's cutting out. We may stick around for a minute.
Adios.
You got any good stories from college?
Y'all need to talk about the one and only duck that got killed in Bomb Stadium.
No, we're good.
We're going to probably going to leave that one off the record.
I'll tell it later.
No, we'll tell it later. There was a ball hit or something. hit a duck, knocked it out. See you, Nate. But yeah, like I said, Ruck. We were roommates in college. A104 up at University of Arkansas, and Ruck played.
The times that place has seen.
Boy, oh boy. Hey, shut that last bay. But yeah, we spent a few years up there, and man, we would always take our fishing stuff on road trips. We'd have like collapsible fishing stuff. We'd take on road trips. Here's the stupid stuff from freshman year. So the farm that we're at right now, we're in East Arkansas. We're about 4.5 hours from campus.
Oh yeah, from Fayetteville to here.
Every single Friday night we would leave and we'd come over.
Oh, we'd have practice too. So we would get done at practice at like 7. You got a 4-hour drive here if you don't stop, which we were. You'd roll into camp at like 12, 1 o'clock Saturday morning.
Yeah.
And then wake up and hunt. And of course as we always do, we're never on time for anything.
No, so we deer hunt, duck hunt, but we do it every single weekend, and we both redshirted our freshman year.
That was the worst mistake they could have made, boy. That hunting stuff just took over.
Honestly, as far as like the growth of the K-Zone stuff, that's kind of the years that we made the most of it. I mean, we'd leave campus at, like you said, late Friday night, get over here, duck hunt, deer hunt, film, do that whole deal.
And usually always kill something Sunday night just to make sure we made it home as late as possible.
We were always looking for deer and duck hunting Sunday evenings till dark, and it was like, we'd get back to campus at 1 o'clock in the morning, and then
have weights at 6.
Weights at 6 o'clock Monday.
Could have got back earlier, but there was one place, if you've never stopped there, in Ozark, there's a gas station that has the sweet tea.
The best sweet tea.
And I swear, like every Sunday about 11:30 on our way back up or whenever we were passing through, we would stop off and get a sweet tea from some gas station right there in Ozark. Best sweet tea I've ever had.
If you're ever going through Ozark, it's the second Ozark eggs if you're going towards Fayetteville.
I think it's called like the Hillbilly Hideout or something.
Hop out there that's got like a little statue guy in the front door.
Oh, yeah, there's a big statue, dude. There's like a bear in the front. You walk in there and you get you a sweet tea, and it'll be the best you've ever had. I can promise you.
That's the best sweet tea I've ever had, no doubt. But we got some stories going up there in freshman year in our dorms. We were playing catch with a was it a basketball? It's like one of those.
Dude, it's like one of those
rubber
little
basketballs. We had a small goal hanging from the back of our door in our dorm room.
Yeah, and we just shoot baskets in there, and we got. Dad's gonna be pissed at this one. He was pissed at this one. It cost him about $6,000. I had about 10 hours of community service. But Jesus, yeah, we were throwing the ball, man. We were bored, 18. We didn't have anything to do.
We weren't doing nothing wrong. We were in the hallway of our dorm,
throwing some baskets,
getting some extra work in.
Trying to get the arm strength back up. But of course, it was me. I threw it, and it hit off the side of the wall.
Frame.
Shot straight across, and it's like one of those old sprinkler head that drops straight from the ceiling. That thing busted, and there was about a 4-inch pipe that just started pissing some of the nastiest water.
Looks like someone just took a fire hose, walked in the hallway, and just said, "Here you go."
Oh, yeah. So me and him, we freaking wigged. We're like, what do we do? What do we do? We just evacuated, bro. We leave. I'm talking, there's water coming downstairs. This is like 11 o'clock at night. People are in robes, running around like, what is going on? You could have rowed a canoe down the hallway by the time we were getting out of there. And that is no joke. And we just went, I think, to either mine or your truck that was parked out back, and we're like, dude, what do we do?
What do we do? We had no idea what to do. Ended up going to tell one of the, what do they call those people that watch, like
the RAs or something. They were like, we have camera footage, so if you know anything about it, you better come clean now. And we're like, damn,
we weren't.
man.
Here's the deal, though. Like we weren't trying to hide anything. We just kind of got stunned.
Yeah,
we were just in shock.
I'm telling you, it was like something you've never. I'm talking
Fire
a
department,
4-story
police.
dorm completely flooded. By the time the fire department showed up, like 30 minutes later, you would need waiters to walk down the hallway, and that is no joke.
And so, I mean, we went I guess we both did, but we went and met.
I think we went, and I don't remember exactly what we told them.
There's a picture on the security camera footage.
Well, no, because we had to
we're
go.
Just like
We got
mode.
We got bad screwed. We told the lady. I don't remember if we told him it was us or whatever, but anyway, we went and had to go meet with like not the dean, but somebody high up.
Jay Board or something like that.
Yeah, and they go. We still didn't know that they had the pictures at the time, and so we're in there like trying to make sure our stories match and all that, and then all of a sudden the lady turns the screen around and it's just me, clear as day, like halfway through a throw. I'm like, well, ain't no denying that one. You caught the tater. You caught the tater.
You caught the tater.
And that was by far the worst and just the worst phone call I've ever had home to my dad ever. I did not want to make that phone call, but I can remember it
Clear as day.
vividly.
Which brings up a good story. The bagels.
The bagels got them. I mean, there's tons of things I'd get kicked out for.
We're like 24 minutes right now, but I kind of want to get a couple more stories in here while we're here. We got
which ones you want to know?
That's what I was telling Nate too yesterday. I was like, I kind of want the hunt stuff's cool. I kind of want to get away from some of the hunt stuff. We got so many baseball stories and
any stories from a long time. I mean,
I think you got to tell the bagel story though.
The bagel story. I mean, yeah. So I got.
We don't have to go too far in depth. We can just scratch the surface.
I won't give all the details, but essentially, I got kicked out of a baseball game at the University of Arkansas in like the third inning for eating a bagel.
Were we playing like LSU or something?
We were playing somebody, and this is back during Mike when we had me and you were we were redshirted, so we were trying to like always put in extra work, lift before, lift after, and it was only us two. But they always told us like you got to eat more, you got to do this, you got to put on some weight, you're too small, yada yada. But they always wanted us to eat during the games too, so
they set up a bagel stand in the tunnel.
In the tunnel, yeah. So I was like, man, you get to the field at 8 o'clock for a 1 o'clock Sunday game because you got to do all the pregame stuff. You're running around. You haven't eaten since like 7:30. Plus, they're trying to put weight on us. And I'm like, dude, I'm freaking hungry. Run upstairs, boy, just make a primo bagel up there. Psyched about it. About to go back, freaking enjoy the game, munch a bagel, whatever. My whole family's there. So they had driven from Arkadelphia to Fayetteville. It was like 4 hours. And then from Little Rock, Scott's probably at least 3.5 for them. And our pitcher just was not doing very good. And instead of taking it out on him, I got the short end of the stick on that one, and I'm just down there like mid-bite on this bagel, and one of the coaches yells at me, and he's like, what do you do? What do you think this is, a freaking clubhouse? I go throw it away. I turn and look at him like, wait, what? Are you being serious right now? And so I was like, all right, whatever. I go throw it away, and I go back. I'm like propped up on the side of the rail, and I don't know what kind of language we can use on here, but I'm just going to let it rip anyway. And they look back down at me, and he's like, you know what? On second thought, why don't you just pack your shit and get the fuck out of here? I'm like, whoa, hold up. Like, I wasn't doing anything wrong. Like, dude, I'm just hungry, man. I'm trying to eat. And so I got booted out of the game. I went up. I had to shower, took all my stuff off. It's like the third inning. And I called my mom. I'm like,
she's like, why are you calling me in the third inning of this game?
Yeah, she's in the middle of the stands with all my family there, and she's getting a call from me in the third inning like, yo, I just got kicked out of this game. And they're like, what'd you do? Were you being mean to somebody? Were you talking? I was like, no, I was just eating a bagel. And so it was like a running joke of the whole team. I even changed my name in the group me to Bagel Bites.
Bagel Bites. I forgot about that. Yeah. Holy crap. But yeah, you watched the rest of the game from Zaxby's.
I went to Zaxby's, yeah. And, boy, my dad was heated about that one. And
but not even so much you at all. It was
no, I didn't do anything. I didn't think I did anything wrong. And
you're bettering yourself for the team.
Yeah, I was just trying to put some weight on, man. Do the program that they had me on, and then I had to go meet with that coach in the office Monday morning. And Dad was like, "You make sure you let me know what he says." And I'm like, "All right, I will." And basically, all he did was pull out my weight, my weight charts, and tell me that I needed to eat more and work harder and work out. But that's when we had like Jacob Morris and Matt Benson and just monsters,
specimens.
right? We come from small Arkansas high schools. Like, I was not a big kid. I was not strong.
We roll in there, and they were like, y'all got to gain 10 pounds or you're not playing.
Right. And so what he complained to me about on Monday morning was exactly what I was trying to accomplish on the Sunday before he made me throw the damn bagel away. And I'm like, look, man, this is not adding up. Like, I try to do what you want me to do, I get booted from the game.
I'm
not doing it. Yeah, I mean, hey, it's tough. I also ran the 6-minute mile with the pitchers all the time, even though I was
an outfielder. Yeah, I guess that was the other part. We did 6-minute miles like every Friday, and that sucked.
Especially if you ain't ever done one.
And I don't know if it was a mile, felt like longer. But if you didn't make the 6-minute mile, you got to run it again. Mm-hmm. Knowingly that you were going to make it the second time because you're either going to puke or die.
Oh yeah,
after the first one.
And we were all in pretty good shape, but like 6 minute mile shape that's something different. But the pitchers, y'all had to do it a lot. Where like we still ran a lot, but we were never on a 6 minute mile
Y'all running
pace.
bases and running poles.
Like I got halfway through that thing and I couldn't even feel my legs. I was just like, just keep moving.
Was that after the bagel?
Oh yeah,
was
that was after a practice one day, and I don't even remember if it was Butler or if it was Jordan that made me do it. But they were just like, I was in the locker room, I had showered and everything, put my shoes on, and they just walk up and be like, you know what, you're going to run the 6 minute mile with the pitchers today.
Hey, I've got an idea.
And I'm like, geez. I don't know if it's that or if he got mad because I punched him in the face on accident before that one game. Bloodied his nose.
Scared him to death.
Yeah, my locker was right by the
tunnel.
The door where you go down the tunnel. So, like, I'd be sitting in this chair and the tunnel door to go to the field is right here. And I'm just, sitting here like this chilling. And Butler walks beside me and he just, rah, tries to scare me. And I just kind of, like, react like that, smoked him, gave him a bloody nose, like, right before the game started.
It was just, there's some fun. We can go on for days. We need Blaine here.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys we need here, but we could go and tell some stories for a while.
Since you said one, I'll wrap it up on my story. We were playing summer ball up at Crowder. Playing for Coach Baxendale, the Express, and I think it was my first summer. I don't know if it was my second. I think it was my first summer.
Yeah, I think it was junior year.
I mean, we had a stud team. Like we did. I'd have put ourselves against anybody in the country. Like I think we had 12 guys that were committed D1. Or
everybody on that team went at least like a major D1 program.
Most of us went to Arkansas.
I think like 7 or 8 out of them. Yeah.
And so here at Crowder, you're gonna have to. I don't really remember. I've tried to forget, but you were on.
I remember vividly because I was on third base.
Okay,
yeah.
So it was more of like it was a squeeze play.
Well,
or was it hit and run, or it was a squeeze play? It had to have been a squeeze play.
So it's either squeeze or no. I think it was just a straight up hit and run, which is the most ridiculous part because the bases were loaded with no outs.
Okay, so
or maybe it was like a straight up suicide squeeze, regardless of the fact the ball was unhittable. You couldn't have touched it. No.
So what happened was, so I was at the plate. Bases were loaded. I think there was one or less outs, obviously, with the situation, and zero outs. Ruck's on third base, and in a squeeze situation or hit and run, you want to basically swing regardless of if the ball's hittable. I mean, that's like
you're just trying to hit the ball. Yeah,
you don't want to interfere with the catcher, but you do want to. You kind of want to interfere with the catcher.
Yeah,
and so, anyways. He starts breaking from third base to the plate. Ball is like in the other batter's box on the back side of the box.
And in the dirt.
Wasn't like it was on the channel or inside.
Not even.
It was in the other batter. It was almost a pitch out. And
in the dirt.
In the dirt. And I think what happened was he was trying to, he saw you kind of going, and he was like, I'm not going to put this anywhere in the zone. I'm going to throw it out. So he threw
I don't know what
in
happened.
The left-handed batter's box way on the other side. And I just I froze. It was like I just took it.
Yeah.
And you're just hung up in a rundown on the third baseline. I don't remember. Did you get out?
Oh, yeah.
So
I ended up getting out, and then it was second and third with one out after that.
Well, so we didn't get to that part yet.
Yeah.
Because what happened was he got thrown out. Our runner shifted. So we got second and third with 1 or 2 outs now at this point.
Yeah.
And I've got 1 ball on me because I took a bad pitch.
Yeah.
Good on me. But guess what happened? We traded a ball for an out, which is not ideal. But so Coach Baxendale calls me over to the third base coaching box. I mean, calls timeout mid-game in front of everybody, God and everybody.
Putting it lightly. This man was yelling.
Man was yelling at me. And so I was walking to the third base line. He casually walks up to me, doesn't even say a word to me, just grabs my bat and throws it in the dugout and says, go hit.
Yeah.
And so now I'm left with nothing. I've got 1 ball on me and no bat. And so I'm headed back to the box. Actually, no. I go back to the dugout. I go back to the dugout and grab my bat and walk to the box. And he says, no, timeout.
And comes
calls
and
2 timeouts within 1 timeout. And comes up, grabs my bat from me, puts it back in the dugout. So I'm headed to the plate with no bat. I stand there with my hands on my hips. I don't know what to do. The guy he proceeds to throw 2 more balls.
And I'm like, oh, my God.
And the umpire calls them strikes because he didn't know what to do.
I don't think anybody knew what to do, and that was the hardest part. Like, if I was that pitcher, 100%, I'm still walking you because that's in my dome that you don't have a bat.
Don't have a bat. So I'm standing there, don't have a bat in my hands. We got 1 out. I mean, crucial part of the game. I mean, we're 1 hit away for 2 RBIs, and I don't have a bat.
Yeah.
And so he basically walked me when I didn't have a bat in my hand, and the guy rung me up.
Still got rung, yeah.
The guy rung me up 3 pitches in a row, and I was like talking to the umpire during this whole deal. He's like, dude, I don't know what to do. You don't have a bat. I've never seen this before. So ball, calls a strike, rings me up. We end up getting out of the inning, and Baxendale was like, he comes over to me and lays into me. Just rips me a new one for about 30 solid seconds, felt like longer. And the game ended, and I just left. I just went home. I don't know if we were looking for retaliation or something. I think I just left.
Yeah.
But long story short, I went to the plate with no bat.
Yeah, that was probably the craziest thing I've ever seen in a baseball game. I've never seen anybody. I mean, you got T-ballers that go up there and they have a bat every time.
And I didn't have a bat.
And we're freaking
Division
17,
I
18.
signees going to play. At that point, it was the #1 program in the country.
Yeah, our freshman year, we were
Preseason.
'1 in the nation.
And
we're going to play at this
They got
program.
recruits coming up here that are going to the plate with no bats. We're just getting good mental reps in, I guess.
Yeah, that was definitely an all-time classic. There's stories, tons of stories from that too. We're gonna have to one of these days during duck season we can drink a couple beverages
go out on the porch
and get on a roll. We'll fill y'all in on some others.
Yeah. I mean, that being said, this is episode 2, 35 minutes in. We're going to probably wrap it up.
Damn, that was 35 minutes?
35 minutes, just
Wow.
like
This
that.
is my first time doing it, so I didn't even know what to expect, but it's pretty easy.
So we just, like kind of we were saying in the first episode, we want to use this as like an outlet to get some personality in here because you can only see so much in a 15-minute episode. You can kind of see before hunts.
Yeah, but
some of the
it's
kill
not
shots.
it's not a lot.
It's
And
not a lot.
You get to see a lot of the action in the hunts, which is what everybody's watching them for anyway. But just to kind of put some personality on some of us, just so you kind of know that like we're not as serious as we seem to be.
I promise we're not.
Almost never.
It's a clown show most of the time.
It's usually a clown show of video quotes or making fun of somebody. Or post office runs, you name it. It's
the whole deal. And
So,
we got that
story will never be told.
We got a ton of guys
right.
we hunt with that would have some good stories like serious stories about baseball stuff. Guys that got drafted, get to play in the big leagues, or guys like I know Lancaster would love to hop on this podcast.
Oh
but
man, he'd go for a while.
He has a gym in Memphis, Deep River Fit, and he'd get on here and talk. He's actually elk hunter right now. I'd like to get him on and get his kind of feedback from an elk hunt. I know Dustin and those guys would want to get on here. Don't get Jay and Cole on here. They may.
Cole will just freeze up. Jay, you'll just get killed with the finger guns or whatever that is.
We got us a mixed bag in this crew,
Yeah.
and it's pretty fun. I mean, it's awesome to hunt with them, and I think the podcasts are going to give you a little better outlook on the whole situation.
Yeah, I think this is going to be cool.
And for me, I don't get to be in any.
You're never.
I'm never in the videos.
He didn't even have any pictures or anything of himself because he was always the one doing it until I became director. That's the joke. The director of photography. I got a camera last year.
Yeah. It's actually been nice because I'm starting to get some pictures of myself.
Yeah.
I mean, we got pictures hung up all in here, and it's always me
taking
the picture, or I'm setting up a timer and running behind somebody to get a picture taken.
That's some other stuff we need to show is like the behind the scenes of how these group photos are taken because, yeah, he self-times it. He's eaten it a couple times.
I ate it pretty good. I don't remember where I was. I ate it a couple times.
We took that one in Yellowwood.
In Yellowwood, and I was jumping over. It was crazy. But I think what we ought to do is we ought to get a podcast on here with, just do nothing but hunting stories. I mean, I think it'd be just gold, some of the stuff that we could dig up over the last 5, 6, 7 years.
No doubt.
And, that's kind of what we want to do on the platform. We're going to be uploading to YouTube weekly, maybe monthly. There's no schedule for this. I mean, we're just going to get on here and go.
Kind of running with it. Like we had no script to this at all. Like they've done it. I guess this is their second time. Yeah, once. I've never done it, so we're just kind of winging it. But I think it could be something that's really cool.
Yeah, I think it'll be good. Got Canada coming up in about a month. Exactly a month, actually, from yesterday.
Yeah.
So we'll be kind of picking up the pace a little bit. Things will be getting crazy. We're going to be dropping that Gator episode pretty soon from Ruck's Hunt, and then it's happening. So season will be here before you know it.
We're ready for it. I guess you're putting this. Give us or leave some comments or thoughts on what different stuff y'all want to see, or if there's like any topics or questions that you want us to kind of go over. I mean, we're just kind of winging this thing. Like, we have really no idea.
Well, we've got so much experience with, like, camera stuff.
Camera questions or
Baseball stuff, hunting, just, like, strategy type stuff, or, like, locations. I mean,
yeah, anything in general, just something that we can kind of go on as this thing grows. I think it's going to be a really cool thing. And
yeah.
So, yeah, leave some thoughts, comments, opinions, whatever you want on here, and we'll try to make this thing kind of what y'all want to see.
I'm with it. Well, we appreciate you guys watching. Be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.
Peace.
What do you rank that biscuit there? That's pretty good. I give it a 10,000, 9,000.72 dash 69. Pretty sure I spit half that shit out too.